Limbus Company.
Limbus Company. Can you tell me something? Yeah. You always can talk to me, Belly. My mom pushed again. What's your... Does she have like a wife or something, Valley? Does she like me? Am I liked by your entire family? Who is this? T-Corp Class 3 3D staff. Wait, I'm getting characters from the story I just played. Lynn loves me. No! Mom and wife love me. No! That's crazy. I'm getting Otis and Mercel. Oh, there's a thingy. Should I pull on this, guys? Or should I pull on this? Should I pull on this? I'll do one pull. Oh! It's gold! Gold and gold! Oh, and what is that? Is that like kind of gold or is that red? I don't know. Let's go.
사건만 추리하는 게 아니다.
이 전투에 어떤 문제가 있는지?
No!
아니,
I got an announcer!
음식이 좀 슴슴한가 했더니 이런 난장판이라는 조미료를 준비해둘 줄은 본인이 미쳐 몰랐군.
Hey, yo. Hidden Dragon! I got it, guys. I got it. I got the dragon. Time killing time. I've already done this. Why is it like... Does it want me to do it again? I don't understand. Why does it tell me to do this again? Hi, Goba!
Bokath 1 heart gonna be lurking, playing some Po.
We might play some Po later today. There's a hard mode now? Oh, they added a hard mode. Okay. Oh, I can get lots of pulls. Alright, so they want me to play the dungeon? Is that what you're saying? Oh, you only get 10, but if you do this, you get 80. Okay. So we do this. Look at that! Go back? How do you go back? I don't think I can go back. Let's do trimmer. He does poison burn. And he does bind. Enter and leave? Okay. I was able to get Ego, Solemn Lament, but I didn't get enough for the Otis stuff. But Trimmer seems to be one of my stronger teams. Let's try sinking, though. Or should I do bleed burn? I don't know. Let's do sinking because we have solemn limit now. Oh, I forgot. This one doesn't level you up. So we just do our story team. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Yeah, this should be fine. Alright. Enter, then leave. Now, what were you saying? I am the king of rupture, the queen of rupture, the dragon of rupture! Look at the bottom left. What am I looking for? In stages. I have to beat 736 to unlock it. So do you want me to beat... Should I beat this? Should I beat this other Intervalio? It's also voiced now. Yeah, alright. I think that should be enough. I think actually...
복지팀의 협조가 필요한 거지.
Alright, let's go.
No.
No! Take my money. Faust's wife, Intervalio? Yes. She is adorable in this one. Because she's worried she's gonna get stuff wrong.
Hi Wall, how's your day?
I'm good. I love that I'm called Wall now. That's nice. I mean, I'm gonna use my real name. That's fun. She's my wife! You can't take her. I literally pulled once on her rupture banner and got her. Okay? Fight me. Like, there she is. She's my love.
A wall with a normal boober person, yeah no.
Rude.
받아볼 텐가.
Hi, Pyro!
이제 끝내지. 아직 죽지 마라.
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐군. 다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면 좋겠어. 뜀박질 시간.
Fuck, Baka lucky today no one streaming I'm a lurk here.
흑수미.
Love you too, Roy.
전탄격발.
No thank you, it's just the truth.
받아볼 텐가.
죽지 마라. 죽지 마라. 흑수묘 뜀박질 준비. 가치 없군. 죽어라. 숨통 끊기.
I want some coffee. Yes, please!
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
되게 많거든.
What a wonder.
What a wonder. What a wonderful world!
막아내지 못해. 꿰뚫려라.
Now my head hurts more tie. Sarcastic, no tie.
Okay.
불쌍하게 울고 준 죽지 마라. 끝내지. 가치 없고.
By the way, guys, when I leave for my
나도 지킬 게 많.
family thing on Labor Day, no getting me gifts while I can't see my stuff. I want to come back to the house to a pile of stuff. Mean it.
이것밖에 못. 그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
Very optimistic you are, young Wall Yoda.
Oh yeah, I just checked my throne. Booker. They weren't able to order the Legends of Zelda game. So I'm just gonna refund it to you. Waited an entire month and it never showed up. Too bad. Making big movements when there's not a lot of room to move around in takes more energy than you might think, especially for people like us who use longer weapons. These enemies weren't much harder than the ones we fought earlier, but it was inevitable that their sheer number would eventually wear down the sinners. What are these things, Faust? I've been wondering that too. Why are you so tight-lipped all of a sudden? It could be determined from the entity's attack patterns that their offenses were not based on a rational thought. The source of this behavior could be traced back to primal aggressiveness. So, like, are they going, like, primal? While they're aboard the train or something?
I'm a lurk, just being nice and say have fun, but I don't wish you that.
Anything else? Oh yeah, they all had red eyes. Their bodies were wreathed in blankets of red. I smelled blood, so that's likely what they're made of. Then it must be that the red was congealed in a crystallized blood. You're in luck, Dante. I have read upon this subject as a tangent while perusing information regarding our next destination, moments before we boarded the train, and while that will be a useful element in resolving this situation. The sinners have also been a good source of intelligence when it came to categorizing and identifying the important evidence from a available sea of information. Your advice was correct, Dante. Nothing can be said with absolute certainty at the moment. However, this is a good place for us to start. Is there someone else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of it, whatever's in our way? That will not change, no. However, what I'm about to share to you will give you a better understanding of the purpose why W Corp's contract to provide us with the possible means of finding the method of which we may complete it. Joker, why do I see a Spartan woman who needed a chest plate? What? It's very likely that the entity behind the instance on this train, and by extension every incident of the same nature that has occurred in previous warp train trips, is a blood fiend. Blood fiend. What's a blood fiend?
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐군. 다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면 좋겠어.
좋겠어.
라만 차렘들을 뒤엎는다.
Wait, a blood fiend? What's a blood fiend? A blood fiend? What is the name of wings is that? You of all people haven't heard of blood fiends? I thought you were our team expert on obscure lore. Clearly, I have not once heard of mention of these blood fiends. Perchance I have let a magazine article slip from my memory? Don Quixote furrowed her brows, generally lost, as through the very word sounded alien to her. I thought they were monsters and stories to scare children at night. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? That sounds a bit different from what I've heard. I heard that their fear of garlic and sunlight is just a rumor, and that they really afraid of is water. I've been briefed with the existence of blood fiends in the past, when I served as commanding officer. I've seen the dregs that they command. But my memory isn't very clear. I'm quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. I've seen one who called themselves a blood fiend among the ranks of the fingers. But the things that blood fiend commanded weren't like these rubber textured ones. There's something off about this one. That one didn't spawn these dregs with abandon like this. But aren't you supposed to know this already? Yes, I see that some sinners have encountered blood fiends in the past. A long-winded explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you have stated thus far, the entities we face in this stream do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are drag-like beings that are failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as blood bags among relevant parties, according to information I am aware of. Not a terrible name. Of course she likes that name. Why would anyone name someone blood bags? As it has been said prior, it is impossible for passengers to disappear aboard warp trains under normal circumstances. For our reserve intelligence regarding warp trains or W Corp is vast. If incomplete, we could not find possible exception to the above rule. Within that reserve intelligence, however, I have discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis. Wait, you're saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? A more accurate descriptor would be to say that they are either dissolved or vaporized. No matter the degree of violence the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, the warp trains can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. Among several interpretations of the word violence involves cannibalism, of course. However, as passengers collectively, time itself is moratorium for the duration of the train's operation. Digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even devoured passengers could be reconstructed. If they're not merely stuffed into the digestive tract, then I suppose they could gut the passengers to retrieve the chewed up chunks of other passengers and piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. Such is not true for blood bags. Blood bags are by their nature obsessed with blood. Their nature obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges on supplying themselves with the blood of their victims. It is said that they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their forms. Didn't you just say that digestion is not a thing while we're on the train? If I were to continue my deductions, perhaps consumption of blood for blood fiends and blood bags is a fundamentally different process from our consumption of nutrients. Oh! You're right, Joker. Wicked, what's going on? To them, blood is a culmination, an impalement of something that forms itself, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, wealth, purpose of existence. And it must naturally follow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from their biological process such as digestion. Well, I ain't following even half of that. You exist in mortoria of time at present moment, Heathcliff, yet your emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy, they continue to spark within me.
Fixed category. Also sorry for being late. Bokath 1 Cree 2.
What are you playing? I'm playing Limbus Company. Well, I suppose they are. But we cannot tell whether they may be in a state of alteration or whether they remain ensnared in the wheel of creation and destruction. It can be said that emotions, once past, exist not in continuation. The passenger's will to live, the worth of its very existence which they thrive, do they not all gently atrophy into non-existence even amidst the ceased time? Miss Faust seeks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves, how blood is to blood fiends. So that's why she said their blood is vaporized. If that's the case, the very blood that's supposed to bind these chunks of flesh together will also evaporate, which means they can't be pieced back together. There is no incongruence in that logic. Everyone fell silent for a moment. That was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them either. I would like to ask a few questions if you'll permit me. Yusang was the first to break the silence. Could it be said that blood bags are direct creations of blood fiends? If such is the case, then by which method do they... That information is inaccessible at the moment. There's nothing I can do about this. The sinners will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust. And that's something we both want to avoid. It's only a speculation, however. I assume that a form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a blood bag. If such were not the case, then we, who are likely the greatest obstacles to this entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first ones to be turned. That villain of a blood fiend must be hiding out somewhere aboard this train. If we are to believe the words of the fixer from earlier, then there is a high likelihood that the horde is advancing in this direction from the back of the train. Continuing down the train cars will lead us straight to the blood fiend. Very well. I shall not forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of the innocent passengers who have perished by the villain's hands. Dante? It seemed that Don Quixote was now invigorated. The other sinners also seemed satisfied now that we had clearer sight of our goals. Faust, who stood amongst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go.
불가 위야 막아내지 못하리. 자, 숨통 끊기.
Have a nice day, stop allow. It's okay, Ari. We're gonna watch the walk on. We're gonna watch the thing tomorrow, and I'll send that one immediately. Is that okay, Lakan?
불가 위야 막아내지 못하리. 아직 죽지 마라. 아직 죽지 마라.
이것밖에 모르.
정확하게 죽어라. 숨통 끊기. 거쳐. 죽어라. 틈틈 이제 깨우치시게. 흐르는 피로.
전탄격발.
Yeah.
흑순 뒷박질 춤. 이제 깨우치시게.
가까울 노래는
헤어내리. 그림자 속으로 가라앉게.
가치 없군. 가치 없군. 죽어라. 좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐군. 다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면 좋겠어.
좋겠어.
에고 침식도
Hi, Mobs.
양호. 아마도
Oh my god.
정확하게 꿰뚫려라.
Do we have outfits of these guys yet? Of blood fiends?
틈을 끊어.
Wait, is that what Manager Don Quixote is? Is that what he is? He's a blood fiend? Manager of La Land?
할수 없어.
Because he's got the red on him and stuff. A blood fest? Is he a blood fiend? Don't worry about it.
받아볼 텐가.
자, 숨통 끊기. 따뜻한.
이것밖에 못.
지킬 게 많거든.
받아볼 텐가. 전탄격발.
가치 없군. 죽어라. 따뜻한.
헤어내리.
아직 죽지 마라. 날카롭고 정확하게. 자, 숨통 끊기. 따뜻한.
이것밖에 못하나. 이것밖에 못하나.
가족을 위해 가치 없군. 죽어.
총알값 아까울 노래는
흑수묘 뜀박질 춤. 가치 없군.
Pakoton. Manager Esquire, behold, this poor fellow, he still lives. No, stay away from me, you monsters. It's a cleanup agent. What? No, this is... prosthetic. That's a relief. I thought those crazy bastards were trying to break in again. As you can see, my legs are messed up. I had no choice but to hide in the air. So what are the W Corp employees doing aboard this train? You're right. From what we found out about the warp trains through the identities, I can't imagine why any of them would willingly board the train. You're the contract fixers, right? We were ordered to assist you with your contract. I said we, but I'm the only one left. Every single one of my colleagues suddenly began losing their minds in that car over there, and... Faust, is there truly no way to cure the blood bags? I may have been too reliant on Faust in too many places. I don't know what I can do to help the sinners in a situation like this. Going too used to Faust's omniscience because I'd always trust it to be there for me. I was starting to realize that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. Too reliant on the sinners as a whole. If when the time comes for them to depend on me, when they can no longer stand on their own, can I really manage them? Lead them to the right answers? Doubt, covered with fear, begins to rise like an ominous plume of smoke. Well, what can I do, right? Ugh. The agent struggled to some corner of the room with his wounded leg and pulled on a lever. They made good use of this space. The wall behind what had initially appeared to be a folding chair for employees spun around. What in the name of wings is this? Perchance thou hast hidden here a weapon most powerful, a weapon most feared by the blood fiends? That holds some resemblance to a capsule we first saw in the first-class car, but why would that thing be here? The agent slumped into the pod that appeared in the wall. Finally. What is it thou seekest to do? W Corp prepared a small hibernation pod for employees in case of emergencies. Barely then, huh? Good luck with the rest of the mission. He's gone. There he goes. He has departed the scene. Well then, I guess we gotta... Let's move on to the next car.
Baka, you have a sec? I just send a short vid into the general channel. It's 20 seconds or so. It shows how Baka sees Roy.
We were driving in the minivan, just me and mommy too, when a Prius cut her off and made her spill her Mountain Dew. She hit the brakes and hit the horn, she didn't let it slide. She rolled her window halfway down and shouted loud and wide, "You stupid fucking asshole with your head inside your dick. Are you drunk and deaf and blind, or are you just that fucking thick? Oh, use your goddamn blinkers, dumbass, Jesus fucking Christ." Then my mommy sipped her Mountain Dew and muttered, "Fuck my life." We were driving in the minivan.
Okay. Which one am I supposed to be? The mom or the guy that cut her off? 'Cause I don't feel like either is fair. The sun? I'm just there, man. What did I do?
숨통 끊기. 가족을 위해.
전탄 격발.
지키기 위해서. 너도 누군가에겐 아껴졌겠지만
받아볼 텐가.
이제 깨우치시길. 가족을 위해. 꿰뚫리고.
이것밖에 못해. 총알값 아까울 노래.
흑수묘 뒷박질 중. 꿰뚫려라. 이제 깨우치시길. 가치 없고 죽어. 흑수묘 뒷박질 중. 가치 없고 죽어.
그렇게 서 있으면
가치 없고
목이 떨어질
죽어.
수밖에.
오늘 부끄럽지 않았습니다. 의를 바로 세우는 데 일조하였으니 내일은
애고 침식도 양호. 아마도 가족을 위해. 자! 숨통 끊기.
틈을 끊어
지키기 위해서 너도 누군가에게 아껴졌겠지만 날카롭고 정확하게. 아직 죽지 마라. 날카롭고 정확하게.
이것밖에 못해.
너도 누군가에겐 가치 없지만 죽어라. 날카롭고 정확하게. 숨통 끊기.
Rah!
끝내지.
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수가.
These guys look interesting.
전탄격발. 이것밖에 못하나. 총알값 아까울 일은
헤어내리.
이제 깨우치시게.
가치 없군. 죽어. 따뜻해 뚫리고. 그건 지키기 위해서. 나도 지킬 게 많거든. 좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐군. 다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면
I'm out of the
좋겠어.
energy, guys. But I think I'm almost to the end. I think this is maybe the last one. Wait, am I getting thingies? Am I getting these for doing that? Am I getting what you call it? I am. Okay. All right, we're gonna save up for. What should we get? Should I get this? What should I get, guys? I have a feeling I should get these. There are a few boxes in the rewards.
Bokath 1 dead, Bokath 1 dead. I'm going to be AFK for a bit. Hope you have fun, big sis. Bokath 1 heart.
I'm gonna buy one of these. So we can continue.
에고 침식도 양호. 아마도
아마도.
날카롭고 정확하게. 불가 위약.
It is interesting that they made it so cheap. Do I have to do all of the... Wait, do you only get time pieces from first clears? Or like the first time you do a mission? Period? Yes and no. I'm guessing doing mirror dungeons gets you some, right? You get a lot from doing a mirror dungeon, right? Okay, that's good. These guys are really strong. These are the W Corp blood beans. Blood bags. Because they're getting charged.
그렇게 서 있습니다.
지킬 게 많거든. 이제 깨우치시게.
꿰뚫려라.
받아볼 텐가.
불쌍하게 울부짖는군. 따뜻해. 숨통 끊기.
전탄격발. 그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수가.
You can get them. The last stage of the event is more efficient than the mirror dutch, but only gives the event rewards. And if you borrow a T-Corp or Yuri David ID, huh? You get a bonus rewards? Okay. I think I have one 3-stage T-Corp. I'm not sure though. I'll look.
끝내지. 엎드리도록 하라네.
그렇게 서 있으면 목이 떨어질 수밖에.
Something caught attention from the corner of my eye after a round of brutal combat. What's this? T-Corp logo on it. Emblem of T-Corp. It appears that the wall covering it was in the fiercest of battle. In the fiercest of our battle broken. Didn't he authentically mention something about partnering with other wings? 2-star gives you 20% more, 3-star gives you 40% more. Does it stack or is it just one character? I guess they were in cahoots with W Corp too. It's off the case that a wing may work with another. Stacks up to a point. What point is it? Like 3 people or 4? Hey, Tomas! Up to 120 bonus. Okay. I could probably do that. I'm doing good. How you doing? Swerve to a different subject. She's made a mistake. The various destroyed prosthetic parts covered in human remains indicate that the train was boarded by several prosthetic equipped fixers. Sinclair's voice crackles through something awful. Faye, the one we encountered at the platform. Whole train car full of fixers in this contract? I guess he wasn't excited about calling it an expedition. There are over a dozen broken arms strewn about. They must have fought valiantly by replacing their broken arms with backup arms, perchance. Quite the strategy. This is likely an aftermath of a battle between the fixers and the blood bags. There were many similar cases throughout the war. Those using prosthetics would simply let their bodies be destroyed in battle because they considered them to be disposable as long as their wallets would permit it. Of course, the blatant lack of self-preservation ought to led many of them to their early graves. That may be true. I see, there are multiple possible interpretations depending on one's perspective. Despite the fact that there is but a single scene, I will remember both of your inputs. That's a good attitude. Employees with attitude like yours often made it to the end of the war. Yes, well, good for them. You alright, pals? I am physically unharmed yet. Yes, I am alright. However, I do not enjoy this circumstance which we find ourselves in. It's through I'm casting nets to nowhere while lost and isolated in the blind sea. I could usually complete these deductions within moments after establishing a few basic cross-references between the accessible information. I know what you mean. Feeling like you've completely lost, obsessively casting net after net over the black, riftless lake in desperate hopes that one might pull in something we can eat. No way of telling where we are, no way to tell if there's anything to eat under that glassy water surface, grasping at straws, you know? The sense I find mired in is not unlike your own. It's like lying on my back over an unseen grave with the reflection of radiance upon my eyes. And the sanguine scene hanging from the tip of my olfactory tells me not of the forging path. It seemed that Ishmael and Yusang picked up the first part of her sentence. However, they walked up to her and shared a few words of consolation. By the way, I don't ever recall you talking like that, Faust. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something different about you today, somehow. That is... Oh, I mean, I don't hate it. It's actually glad to hear that you had a softer side. This unseen side of yours is unfamiliar yet quite fresh. Do I stream Nintendo games and games with viewers? What do you mean? Games with viewers? I stream all kinds of games. I do stream some Nintendo games. Faust's reply was curt. She closed her eyes. As per the information provided by the pamphlet at the platform, it's likely that this train is composed of 12 passenger cars and 1 freight car. Because we are on the 11th car at the moment, that leaves a single car between us and the freight car in which Mephistopheles is secured. Which means that there's a high likelihood that we will soon encounter the blood fiend responsible for the creation of the blood bags aboard this train. just beyond that door. Well, how impressive could it be if its fodders are this weak? We practically smashed through their entire horde, no problem. A different, more accurate interpretation would be to say that if being capable of commanding a force such as large as the Bloodbags we have defeated should be considered a high-risk entity. Multiplayer online games. We do play online, multiplayer online games. We do indeed. Although this is not common knowledge, there is a subcategory of fixers called Bloodfiend Hunters who specialize in, yes, hunting Bloodfiends. Assuming that information is true, it can be inferred that Bloodfiends are difficult foes that require a certain expertise to defeat. A being of power who can create a force of their own without concern for lower morale or desertion, wartime or not, they will always make formidable foes. Sinners each exchange various opinions with one another, possible strategies, estimations of Bloodfiend's strength. I do love visual novels. I don't think I've played any yet, but I do plan on eventually playing some. Bye on this indecisive idleness. Our quest is to defeat the villain who have brought such pain and misery upon this train, is it not? It may be vaporizing the lifeblood of the innocent as we speak. Among your people I care not. I swear upon mine honor that I shall smite this foe and let my hand of justice be the judge of their fate. Let us hasten now. She's not wrong. Besides, we have to deal with the Bloodfiend to complete our contract.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐군. 다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면 좋겠어.
Alright, so this is definitely probably the boss. Do I have? Let's see here. I have tier 2 here. Is that the only one I have? I think it is. Alright, so... Does it matter if I'm using them or if they're support? What is the 40%? Wait. Why am I not getting 40%?
의로움을 세우기 위해서라면.
Why are the supports getting 40%, but I'm not getting 40%? Oh, the ego?
소재가 준비됐어?
복제팀의 협조가 필요한 거지.
뜀박질 시간.
So I can at most get 60%. I'm sad. I need to try to get the other characters. What is with that look on thy faces? Thou standest in the audience of the prince. Where thy obtuse smiles. Wait! There's a mod in Darkest Dungeon right now that's the Blood Prince. Or whatever. Is this guy? Is that him? Fall to thy knees and grovel. Who the hell are you to make those demands? I shall impart this upon thee only once, so listen well. Thou mayest address me as Prince Cassidy, the sixth kindred, or kindred of the sixth generation, rightful prince and refuge of his family. Art thou the villain who hath brought such destruction and massacre on this vessel? Thou art a chatty one, so rudely before your prince, that I am feeling generous, for I am quite sated at the moment. As thou might have seen thou on thou journey here, this place is a hall of banquet for a feast most majestic. No matter how many blood bags I create, no matter how much I devour them, the humans just won't stop coming. I only enjoy what I was cast into my maw. He dons a mask for the purpose of merrymaking. If we were really in exchange pleasantries, why don't we take that mask off? Or are you unfamiliar with basic etiquette? Oh, this mask? Won't come off, can't take it off. Shouldn't take it off. There's no prince without the mask. We're so ugly behind the mask. So we all decided to hide how repulsive we've become. But once I've drunk your blood full, then it'll go back to how it used to be. Only then can I unmask myself. Who stitched that mask to your face skin? Not a half bad job. The barber. These are from the blood place. Of course, it's excellent. Haha. Because of this mask was crafted by none other than the great and eminent barber, whose name I dare not speak, but it hurts so much. No, I'm smiling. Look at how hard I'm smiling and laughing. Ha! 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 Yes, I am the prince. That's what I am. He's a bloody loon, isn't it? Alright, done with the giggles then. Get ready for a beating of your life. I enjoy things like you and your friends. Don't cry, bowing, and sniveling on the ground for your lives. Lunge at me and said, The aggression, the boiling blood. Oh, I love the fire. What are you, daft? Look around. There are 13 of us and only one of you. Do not let your guard down, Heathcliff. The entity has managed to turn countless passengers of this train into his blood bags. Well, I ain't letting my guard down, but we blasted through so many blood bags we couldn't even keep count, didn't we? Couldn't even keep count. Oh, no. But the count is so important. I have to keep count of our visitors, yes. Of course. I do remember to keep count of our dearest visitors. Yes, sir, I do. You have no idea how powerful I am. I shall not relinquish my throne to thee from this budding kingdom. All I have to do is sit here and do nothing. The blood bags present themselves before me. There's no paradise like this out there. You have no idea what I did to create this place. Oh, how elated my forebear kindreds would be. Should they be here to witness what I have created. This cornucopia of abundance, this pleasure, oh, this freedom. But this kingdom is mine. I made it. I'm not giving it away, nope. It's rather curious. It appears that this blood thing leaves his car only on rare occasions. Yet we have seen signs of his insidious influence throughout every car we have visited so far. Then what he means by how the blood bags present themselves before him has to be... Hold on a minute! Yeah! Figures suddenly and frantically charged into this car. It was Sasha, the fixer we ran into the earlier cars. Cassidy shrieks into his throne at the sudden burst, terror apparent on his face. By the, hast thou truly journeyed here to assist on our quest? That villain is the bloodthing responsible for the tragedy that transpired aboard this train. Help us slay that cur and eventually lead the passengers thou hast protected thus far out of this train. Blood fiends. What if there was more than a single blood fiend on board, one still capable of rational thought? Damn, you actually made it all the way back here. I guess the wings don't give out contracts to just anyone. I used to fight to my damnedest too, till I was the last one standing. What's she talking about? But where did that leave me? In the end, I stood alone with nothing but a single one of these forearms left. Kind of funny how the perspective of life can just completely flip when you're really the shit. I think I last thoughts were, man, I don't want to die. I told him that I'd do anything to live. Blood rapidly crystallized around Sasha like a suit of armor as she swung her great sword at sitters, striking them even before the Faust finished her sentence. What did I say? I commanded you to give me a warning before jumping in like that. Don't you know how loud your stupid arms are? I thought the family had come for me. I'm sorry, Lord Cassidy. Allow me to introduce my kindred to thee, to be the first of many since my escape for the kingdom I intend to build. My kindred, my loyal squire, who shall be by my side as I build a kingdom of my own, my family. Lord Cassidy, I had intended to select the more powerful of the bunch to send to this car as you had commanded me, but... But the humans in my car are all weaklings, so I present to you this group, the first class car. Are you even aware of the exact nature of a kindred? Nah, but I can tell you this. When I accepted my lord's blood into my veins, it was as through I was reborn. I see. A blood fiend's kindred is like a sub-entity of the blood fiend. Similar in concept to sub-entities created by distortions or abnormalities. It must have been desperation that drove you to accept that position without hesitation despite the lack of relevant information. Maybe. That's probably what was going through my head before I became a kindred. As his lackey? Then, when we first laid eyes upon thee? Lady, you have no idea how much I freaked out when one of you asked me something about red eyes. Not that it would have mattered if you did suspect me though, since my red eye is just a prosthetic. Then the passengers who are under thy protection. Haven't I told you that the count matters? The longer the line, the better. I realized that the passengers were dead the moment we realized Sasha was a blood fiend, but this really hoped I wouldn't have to face this reality, not like this. There was a child. Yep, little runt wanted to be a fixer if she got to grow up. Good thing she won't, though. I can tell you on good authority that living as a blood bag is way better than the drudgery that is the life of a fixer. Believe me, I'd know. Hold thy vile tongue. Dreaming of becoming a famous, respected fixer and an actor of justice is just a stupid pipe dream that always ends in crushing disappointment or a really, really early grave. Silence! Silence! Don Quixote did not give Sasha time to finish her sentence. She was already charging full speed at her with her lance drawn.
점 찍었네. 합격장.
전탄격발.
해보겠네.
불쌍하게 울부짖는군.
비뚤어져 끓여.
해보겠네. 이제 깨우치시게.
헤어내리.
불쌍하게 울부짖는군.
Underscore Army 9 underscore 9 just resubbed for 1 month.
Thank you.
OMGBROWNIEBITE.
I still need to figure out what it's saying there.
흑순류, 빈박질 춤.
아직 징수할 내역이 남았으니 죽지는 마시게.
Oh, I destroyed her without even... I didn't even realize she was there. I wasn't even paying attention to her. I was just normal fighting like I normally do in these fights.
해보겠네.
Look at that, Faust ended her. Really? She lived?
합격장.
이제 끝내지. 숨통 끊기.
god. Unbelievable. My first kitten should be created without their authorization. Is this bumbling fool? I pray for your forgiveness, my parent. Begone from my sight. At least thou hast brought me blood bags for sustenance. Yet it must be the responsibility of a parent to clean up the mess of his child. What a load of shit. With that, Cassidy reached out towards the pile of blood bags on the ground and... What an abundance! I had nearly forgotten this sensation. Armor of hardened blood materialized over the blood fiend's body. His sheer aggression and hatred was palpable enough to make our skin crawl. It appears that he has empowered himself by reaping their blood. Through my powers yet to fully return, this magnificent armor is quite befitting of a parade for the prince who have become a king. Wouldn't thou agree? Yes, sir. Yes, you do. Of course you do. Challenge me now, O rebels. Challenge thy king. Alright, let's look at him. Okay, so we want to knock his stored blood down. How do we knock his stored blood down? Okay.
흑수묘 뜀박질 춤.
Enders, thank you for the gifty. Thank you, thank you. You guys are so sweet.
총알값 아까울 만한
불가 위야 막아내지 못해.
전력으로 상대해봐.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 unbreakable.
점 찍었네.
틈새로 바로 이
받아볼 텐데.
Alright.
감히 무엇이라 생각하시오?
틈새로 바로 이 불가 위야 막아내지 못하리. 무용하며 바로 이
I think I killed him this turn. Yep. Yay, Rupture! Yay, Faust! Faust just destroyed him. It hurts! It hurts! Yes, I love your boiling human blood, but this is too painful. This guy keeps generating no matter how many times you tear him to pieces. Ugh. This, I don't know if we can. The mental fatigue finally got to Gregor and Sinclair, who collapsed to the ground. The strange environment of the warp trains. Have I seen a woman with red hair and gray eyes? No? Don't think so. The strange environment of warp trains was provided to be a significant help to the Blood Fiend's regenerative ability. The battle continued much longer than scuffles at K-Corp border checkpoint, or at the struggle against the endless hordes of the dead at the basement of Wuthering Heights. The sinners had all grown much stronger since then, but they were reaching a breaking point. Jabura ain't here then? Don Quixote continues to wildly pummel the Blood Fiend with her lance, breaking, stabbing, and crushing him with every time a body part regenerated. I am so hungry. Ridiculous. Thy hunger is no justification for this massacre thou hast wrought. Shut up. You don't understand. You don't know how awful it is to survive for 200 years on that disgusting, horrible... No. Don't even think about it. Shut up. Be quiet. No, I'm so I'm sorry. I'll be good. Please. Please, just let me have a sip. Just the smallest sip, please. It won't matter how many times you stab me. I shan't stop until all thy flesh and bone and organs are crushed into a viscous, shapeless mush, never to become whole again. The Blood Fiend's regeneration is so powerful that he's recovering as fast as Don Quixote is destroying him. He's regenerating at an insane rate. We can't... My kindred, my child! I've given thee new life, invited thee to this banquet. So do thy responsibility. The blessing of the parent must be repaid, no? What can I do? Find their weakness, break their anchor, make them kneel and grovel before me in desperation, just as you had. Wait, I think I've got an idea. Sasha began looking around wildly, surprised by Cassie's sudden command. These idiots act with such abandon, as if they have multiple lives to burn through. With nothing to protect, they throw themselves wildly into abandon like moths to a flame. Like this little thing. Don Quixote, stop her now. With this key to the first-class cars, my lord, with this, grow your army of bloodbags to bring glory to the kingdom. At the origin of this flight, but Faust is the admirable sinner with or without Faust. Been thinking the same thing about myself, actually. I think that I might have been relying too much on that perfect Faust. But even without Faust, you gave us good directions to follow after analyzing the information we brought you. Maybe uncertainty itself doesn't always have to be the problem for us. Remember, thus the lack of plan becomes the plan. You said it yourself. I see. Indeed, among many, I am Faust that believes in uncertainty. Our loss of the Master Key Card is but one of the innumerable uncertain variables in the equation. Constant is, however, that the Blood Fiend is just as desperate as we are. Thus, the only option that remains at present is to compromise. You there. Looks like thou art the one who's been regenerating your friends. Stop doing that, alright? Don't heal a single one of them, or I'll smash your precious key to pieces. Yeah, let's do that. Then Cassie, why don't we move this conversation to a different location? Only I will accompany Dante to this negotiation. I will make my intentions clear now. Dante and I will not attack you there. There is no doubt in my mind that Cassie must be completely exhausted by the unending barrage of attacks from Don Quixote and the sinners. Val's suggestion that we move this conversation to a different place without the sinners must be a sweet one. Just you two, huh? The freight car is immediately adjacent to this one. That is where we will discuss further what we have to offer one another. That clock must be thy monarch then. Thou art one of the retainers? Correct. Very well, this will be a royal debate then. It's only right that a royal he talks to no one else but who's equal. Manager Esquire. We'll be back in a minute, Don Quixote. Thus we left the incapacitated sitters and Don Quixote, who watched with hollow, despondent eyes as we walked away. I have a feeling they're going to push him into the guy since he can eat anything. So, Faust, why are we doing this in the freight car again? Dante, this will be my first attempt at a gamble. The door shut close behind us. I have a feeling she's gambling on the truck being awake. Yeah, looks like a talking point. Damn it, I was hoping to get him. At least a 2-star. Alright. I was hoping to get that. This is a 2-star. Who the heck? It's a trimmer character too. I'll definitely get that. This is where it all started. This stupid bus awoke me from my slumber. This bus hadn't completely filled up the freight car. I wasn't planning to start the parade so soon. Or create a kindred here. Connection. Suddenness of her statement briefly knocked me off my train of thought. Even quieter whisper without looking away from the blood fiend. Boarding Mephistopheles has re-established my connection to Faust. No, and as I have stated before, this was a pure, incalculable gamble based on my own uncertain hypothesis. This success helps me somewhat comprehend Miss Rodnia's fascination with gambling. She smiled a little bit. Now that the connection has been reestablished, I would like to make a complaint against Faust and Gissel's craft management, regarding the fact that they neglected to list information pertaining to loss of connection with the interiors of the warp trains. However, finding a solution of this situation makes precedent. I have much reason to believe that their omission was done on purpose, but I hope such is not the case. Faust gently advanced towards the blood fiend. Let us discuss the details of our compromise. What are you willing to accept in return of the master keycard? If thou were just anyone, I would have wished to turn thee all into blood bags and drink every last drop of thy blood. But thou art unlike a common person. My wish is to maintain the secrecy of this kingdom of mine for as long as possible. And thine wish is to leave this place, right? Once I release this Kincard, and once thou hast returned to their first-class seats, we'll live here happily like nothing ever happened. And when the train gets there, you get off the train, everything goes back to the way they were supposed to be. How is that for a deal? Where can I send Limbus memes? Do we not have a Limbus category? I guess you could put it in the gacha right now. I didn't realize we don't have a Limbus category. Yeah, just go ahead and put it in the gacha games. We kind of just put all of the games I play that are gacha in there. Like nothing happened. Faust, what about the job you were contracted to do in the first place? Our memories and any sign of battle will be entirely erased upon our arrival. We have no way to relay our news, whether of success or failure. If we had the means to defeat him, then at least W Corp would inform us that our contract was successful. Give me a second. Clean it up. There we go. That's weird that I had a stain right there on that. However, this current scenario will leave us with nothing to show for, not even the smallest hint, and the contract will end in failure. However, what takes precedence over the contract is you and the listener's psychological stability. It's not like we've always been successful. Alright guys, I need to go somewhere. Papa needs help with something. I'll be right back. Give me like 30-40 minutes, or less. Okay guys? I'll be right back. What do you mean? Ari's cute. Leave. Where's my you're cute? Hello? Not that I'm cute or anything, but like... Hello?
Initiate scatter protocol.
Don't scatter! Baka is so very cute. Go, go. Thank you, Anders, for the gifty right after I left. I was gone an hour. Oh, gosh. What about the other passengers of this train and its future passengers? I remember Don Quixote's face whenever we come across these inevitable forms of justice. Faust doesn't reply. Yet the lack of a reply was a reply on its own. Are we going to have to let them die? Innate lives will be lost, but we cannot prioritize their lives over our safety. That must be Faust and the company's policy. And yet, I shan't allow this. Don Cote. I thought her wounds were too severe for her to even crawl, let alone walk. But with sheer will, she pushed herself through the pain to reach the freight car. I will not tolerate this. We cannot let this vile wretch live and turn a blind eye to everything he's done. It's her again. What, you want me to stay here for what is essentially an eternity within this train? I know the truth. Everything hinges on this key, doesn't it? Everything hinges on this key, doesn't it? As soon as I break this in half, you'll have to spend the eons inside this. I care not. I would welcome the eons. Should it mean eons of penitence for thee, 'tis much preferable to letting thy villainy go unanswered. Let this place be the site of thine eternal judgment. Faust, unhand me. Thou mustn't let him live, Manager Esquire. Don Quixote, letting him destroy the key means that you'll be condemning the sinners to 1,000 years of torment. Thousands of years of torment. Then I shall fill the millennium with the tales of the legend I had read in the magazines. No time, however infinite, shall be too great to overcome, should we endeavor as one. Certainly you are aware that your suggestion is no solution at all, Don Quixote. Then there has to be another way, no? Thou art both possessors of great wisdom, Faust, Manager Esquire. Is there truly no path to which we may bring justice to the villain and the sinners remain unharmed? Her struggle begins to wane, but this was no acceptance. This was dejection. Wait, Don Quixote, no! In the commotion, we failed to notice that the Bloodfeet had been quietly advancing on us. We let Don Quixote go at the last second, but we were a second too late. Oh, my dearest parent, forgive my transgressions of creating another without thy sanction. Thou shalt become my next kindred. Oh. I did not expect this to be the solution. Faust, what do you mean, the solution? According to the information I have viewed in the past, and once again, just now, it's... Dante, take cover behind me and remain absolutely still. And please do note that the other sinners must never hear a word of what is about to happen. Don Quixote levitates slightly into the air, the strings on her shoes unraveling as they slipped off her feet on their own. She looks on with bewilderment as her running shoes fall to the floor. And... Yeah! Rocinante! I always had this question, sort of at the unfocused backstage of my mind. Why are you always so protective of those running shoes, Don Quixote? Ah, running shoes. Ah! Dost thou speak of dear Rocinante? Yeah, those. Have battled through thick and thin, feast and famine with dear Rocinante, in sorrow and in joy, no matter the brutality of trials that have struck me. It has been my loyal steed by my side for however long it has been in existence. She doesn't know when she got them? Ah, Manager Esquire, wherefore hast thou not saluted Rocinante as well? This may be a rather auspicious occasion to do so. Nope, I think I'm good. Aha, be not so bashful. Go on ahead. Look, Stinky. Small girl is tutoring TikTok with Stinky. Stinky, they are not! Scuffed as they might appear. Roshinate is in pristine condition. Also, thou shalt not address me as small girl. Evacuate. Evacuate. Don Quixote, don't tell me you go to sleep wearing those, running Roshinate. Oh, I've always been quite certain that someone so esteemed as these men would take care to ask me how Roshinata fares. I didn't mention that this question was inspired by numerous eyewitness reports from other sinners who saw her wandering the halls in her pajamas and wearing Roshinate. Verily, Roshinate and I remain bound together, even in slumber. There is no separating the two of us. We are bound not by need or want. We are simply bound together through plight and delight. Now that I think about it, every single identity of Don Quixote was wearing those pair of running shoes. Have you ever taken them off? Take them off? Fie. What dost thou mean? As in detach Roshinate from my body? 'Tis a very odd insinuation thou makest. She looks at me puzzled eyes as if taking those pair of shoes off was somehow an inconceivable idea. They were something much more than just her favorite pair of running shoes. Her odd attitude of treating them something so far removed from common sense as something completely ordinary. What does Roshinate mean to Don Quixote? What even is it? An overwhelmingly powerful pressure suddenly explodes, radiating in all directions. As the metallic stench of blood suffocates the bus, filling every corner of it with its sickening horror. Then darkness. No, that's impossible! Wait! Is Manager Dawn... Is Manager Dawn actually Manager Dawn? Is that Don Quixote's real, like, skin? In all-absorbing darkness, voices are only light. You are the second kindred. How did you... I should have felt your presence. I do think I saw a faint outline of an aura. I see a red aura and a long fur adornment of sorts. The shimmering aura, I think I saw red eyes. Wait, really? You have committed the sin of vile impiety, transgressor. I know that voice, but I also don't. I've never heard it in such a low, imposing tone before. It speaks towards the lesser being. The blood fiend, shriveled and kneeling, trembling and pathetic. Mercy, O venerated ancestor! I beg for the mercy of the second kindred. I beg for the mercy of the second kindred. I beg. Insolent worm. Crimson droplets of blood slowly rise around the blood fiend's mouth before congealing and sealing his mouth shut. No language worming its way out of your maw shall be worth my years. No, to commit the sin of vile impiety by attempting to travel against the bloodstream, to commit such abomination against your ancestor, I cannot well sanction your impudence of continued existence. Coagulate, then melt away. Cassette's body begins liquefying in a thick, slick stream of blood, his form curdling and crumbling, then dripping to the ground. Rapidly yet ponderously, like that ice cream Don Quixote loves so much, melting away on the floor, heated under the searing sun. Ah, you. Don Quixote turned to look at me, who was still on the ground after being thrown by the shockwave. With a cryptic look of pity, she uttered something. Indeed, you must be the promised timepiece. Something I couldn't quite understand. Or she not. To me. Or she not, I beseech you. Carefully, I reached out, grabbed her shoes, and slipped them onto her bare feet one by one. Ah, one day. She gasped, stumbled, and slumped to the ground. So the real Don Quixote is actually Manager Don Quixote. Alright, so we can never change her outfit ever again. It's not allowed. That's her true self. Sometime later. Someone explain just what happened in a way that makes sense. I knew that the sinners would all be shocked and confused. After all, when they, including Faust and Duncan, all came back to life after I rewound the clock, all that remained was the destroyed door to the freight car and the disgusting obliterated remains of what was once Cassette. Most personnel had lost their consciousness from the mental stress of the prolonged battle against the Blood Fiend. Whatever measure it was that the manager has taken, it can be said it was appropriate. I guess so. Well, good work, everyone. However, the definition of most personnel excludes 3 individuals. Therefore, it would be most appropriate to direct any questions to them. Wait. Who are those 3? Faust, the manager, and Don Quixote, who is still unconscious. Huh? Really? The 3 of you? When did you even have time to notice that? Oh boy. I have identified the 3 conscious individuals by analyzing their waking cadence and voices, moments before I lost my consciousness. Right, so what's going on with the lass? Why is she still out cold? She appears to be in a state of deep slumber, as she is not at risk of death. She will be waking up soon. I remember everything, of course. Of course, Don Quixote's sudden transformation, how she practically erased the Blood Fiend and his kindred from the world without ever moving a finger. That's what I was always thinking. I'm like, it feels like this is the most true to Don Quixote ever. When I got him, when I got her, because she still speaks the same, where but all her other skins, she speaks slightly different. Boka, hi, colored. No! Do you have a doctor? Can you go to the dentist? Are you okay? Are you gonna be okay? I swear. Are you gonna be the 3rd person I have to pay for his teeth? I won't be mad. I'll just be very surprised that it's weird that it's happened 3 times. You're fine, just annoyed. You don't need any money for the dentist, right? But need to get a time. The long wait. Well, they should be able to give you the medicine for it immediately, though, right, Colette? Like the medicine to like make sure you don't get it infected and stuff. No pain somehow? Weird. It's probably because it hasn't had a chance to get infected. Maybe it was like an old cavity that just wore away the tooth. But it's brown dark. Oh, that's infection. That's deep infection. They're gonna have to give you antibiotics. Brown dark is deep infection. I hope you'll be okay. Alert. Do you have enough money for a replacement tooth? If you need any help, let me know, Color. It's the very least I can do for how much you support me. Nah. I want to help if I can. Don Quixote was unconscious, and Faust was answering every question with silence. It was only natural their eyes would fall upon me. That's, you know. Wait, that reminds me. Where's the key card? Wait, oh. Oh no, everyone calm down. Calm down, I said calm down! I should have packed more cigarettes, huh? How about we force one of those doors open? The master keycard is not an absolute necessary element of resolving this situation. Well, how? It will probably take 5 hours to formulate and proceed with an explanation in a manner that will allow the sitters to fully comprehend the exact how of this methodology. Therefore, it will be delivered to you in a digestible, summarized format. What do you mean? Do something cute, Enders. I'm not being cute. Rah! Here! Please be okay, though, Chloe. You're gonna have to let me know if you're okay later, okay? Well, that was short-lived. She was acting all smug again. I could utilize the back door of Mephistopheles. The steely confidence in her declaration was more than enough to win us over. So we headed to the corridor past the back door. Don Quixote slowly go over one of our shoulders and arrived at our destination. I can't not ask what happened after seeing the state you're all in. Sandy pitter patter. Sandy pit patter. Sandy pitter? Sandy patter. Grains of sand and seashells like things fell with every step the sinners took. Ask someone after me. To explicate, it can, grains of sand rolled about in my throat with every word spoken. Some time ago. Faust explained the simpler gist of this plan as we made our way to the back door. Put simply, we will spend the time at a space disconnected from the train. The train should be arriving at its destination in approximately 10 seconds. Going by the A-Corp time scale. All we must do is remain somewhere in our original dimension for that duration. Faust came to a sudden stop in the middle of one of the corridors. Wait, are you seriously going to open that door with this many doors in here? Are you sure that's the right one? Yes, this is the correct door. Its safety is completely ensured. Lass, at least tell us what's past that door. I did not bother to verify that particular information myself. It is necessary for future endeavors that I gain the experience of encountering something completely unexpected. Wait, wait! Faust did not wait for Heathcliff to finish his sentence before jerking the door wide open. Now please enter through the door. With Faust's stern command, we quickly walked into a building that looked like a derelict, abandoned hospital of sorts. I think we walked into the middle of a sandstorm. Aren't we supposed to be indoors? How the heck is this even happening? I can't open my eyes. Patui, I got sand in my mouth. Wait, no. Is this a sandstorm? But aren't we inside a building? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blurted out the colorful series of complaints, trying to cover themselves in the sandstorm. But Faust continued to count in that same indifferent rhythm before dragging us out there just as urgently as she herded us in. So, we managed to return to safe and sound in the chariot of warp train as it arrived at the B-port platforms. As the train was still getting cleaned up, that is, with our bodies completely covered in sand. I thought we'd never make it. Whoa, are you guys okay? How did these passengers... We were so happy to be done with this ordeal that even the W-Corp cleanup agents in the middle of a cleanup mission looked downright hospitable. We are employees of Limbus Company. We boarded the warp train at behest of your employer. So, you guys are the people that Captain told us about? They really let you guys keep your memories, huh? Oh, that reminds me. One of the employees must be sleeping inside that hibernation pod over there. Huh. Oh, that? Huh. I've never seen it in action before. Thanks, let me go check. That hidden compartment behind the chair that the cleanup agent crawled into. Inside it was... Huh? There isn't anyone in here. Maybe we're looking at the wrong pod. This is the correct spot. Then the disappearance of the individual who has entered this pod would indicate. I guess these folks aren't all there in the head either. Maybe you guys are just mistaken? I doubt that. Yes, we must have suffered from a momentary collective hallucination caused by fatigue. Very well then. We'll see ourselves out. You better not die, Color. I'll be very upset with you. Faust cut the conversation short before the sinners began asking too many questions. Not that I became intimately familiar with the meaning of that gesture. I followed her to the outside without another word. Arrive? Have we arrived? Rise and shine, lass. Had enough nap yet? I see. I will hear the details of the incident on the bus once we're traveling again. Understood. Any and all relevant reports will be sent to W Corp via LCCA, and... Burgolus was already there when we arrived. He was sharing a conversation with Faust about what went down inside the train with a serious expression. I will now leave with Charon and watch them unfasten Mephistopheles from the train. The minute hand on manager's head seems to be desperately signaling that they have a lot of burning questions to ask you. Allow me to give you two some space. I was finally able to ask Faust once Burgolus left. Why did you do that? Faust's body was quite literally blasted to pieces from sheer explosive pressure that filled the room the moment Don Quixote's shoes came off. It was as though she knew that it was going to happen. Because it was the preferable course of action to having the same explosive demise occur to your body instead. I do find it regrettable that you were made to turn the clock despite my knowledge of the high likelihood of my death upon that occurrence. No, I'm not blaming you for that. I just want to know how long you've known that Don Quixote is... That is something that I have been aware of since LCB was first established. The same could be said of Burgolus. Of course. However, it was by the will of the LCA's superiors that this knowledge remains withheld from the manager until the appropriate moment. The appropriate moment was back there? According to my private judgment, yes. Well, as my connections to all communications, including one to Faust, had been severed, I was not in a position to receive the headquarters authorization for that action. Right. Though the full truth may remain obscured still, we once again returned. Return, that was a layered word. We've returned to one of the warp platforms in our own dimension. We've returned to our daily lives, speculating about what's next in our path, and the usual Faust reconnected to Faust has returned. Yes. Faust replied to Yiseng's nebulous wording with a quiet affirmation. Please do not take this query with greater importance than a mere jest, however. Do you suppose I shall see her again? She shot a puzzled look at Yiseng. In a way, it was quite the pleasant encounter, was it not? Yiseng knows that it was just her. That was the normal Faust. Yiseng mused ambiguously before leaving us. Phew. The incident at the warp train was such a chaotic mess that it felt shorter than it really was. But I also learned that so much about many things. It was too soon to start wrecking our brains about what kind of nonsense trial we were about to face in P-Corp. So I decided to enjoy this momentary peace. How cough do we find ourselves at P-Corp? Puff. Wherefore is my throat so parched? I'm too tired to explain. Chiquita, you missed out big time on one crazy adventure. Huh? Oh, that vibrated the last few grains of sand out of my ears. The sinners looked at Don Quixote's bewildered awakening, grinning. There's no way to know what we faced here at District 16 where P-Corp was located, but we got this, right? The same faith I saw in Faust believes in uncertainty rises with me, too. I looked up to Faust, only to see Faust was looking at me as well. She nodded at me with her usually barely noticeable smile, and I gave her a light nod in return. Time to go find ourselves another golden bow. Alright, so I can never use another Don Quixote. Officially, we start the 7th. Alright, so where do I go for this? What's the best place to go for this? And this is supposed to be... This is his... No. 8 is his, right? Or is 7 his? I forget what we said. Do we know who is... Yo, it's a moon, yo. Cooler. All right, let's look at this meme. What is this? Faust, are you okay? You collapsed so suddenly. Not now, Dante. I'm currently fighting for my life in the Giselle Chaff's group chat. Oh my god, they're all calling me the R slur. I'm trying to think. What's the R slur? Is it redundant? Is she being called redundant? Or retard? Or what is it? Colette! I'm convinced it's redundant. She's being called... I'm convinced it's redundant. Colette! Alright, so manager of La Land has to say... That's also what I noticed. Of all the characters, no one's given a name except for this one. The manager of La Land. Like, I look at all of these. They're never called the something. Is that his real outfit, then? Or do they give the to, like, really strong... outfits? Yeah, because no, lobotomy. The barber. Okay, so certain characters get the. But I will say, this is like... Of all the characters, this one fits them more. That's why I always thought. I was like, it's funny how this one just fits them more. I always thought it was a weird coincidence. Hilariously that they spoke in the exact same cadence that normal Don Quixote spoke in. It's interesting to learn. Kat, what should I do for this event, though? For this particular event? What did I see? Have fun
On
shopping.
August 1st, 1999, 7 young kids went camping for the summer and wind up living in a digital land where everyone meets a digital friend.
Stop, I said stop. I am a visual and highly trained killer. I implore you to take me seriously. No, I can never take you serious. You're too adorable. You're my love. You guys are silly. She's mine. What if Rebun wants to play Risk? We'll play with Risk of Rain with me. Should we play Risk of Rain today? We'll start Kanto 7, but I need to know how to get through this event. Because I want to get a lot of the stuff out of the event. So is this Don Quixote's Kanto, or is it... Whose Kanto is this? I'm confused. I thought it was, But I need the most currency. I want to be able to afford all the pulls and stuff. No, you guys are supposed to tell me which one I'm... Tell me! Think of the flash links. That also reminds me, I'm supposed to be lurking in someone's chat. And I'm not lurking in anyone's chat today. Where's Rebun's chat? We're lurking in the Rebun's chat. Today.
Hug 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 big sis Bokath 1 heart. Phone may die so I'll rejoin stream when I get home. Hope you
Okay.
have fun Bokath 1 heart.
When hides, when hides. Is Reba not streaming? I thought I saw the go up. I was gonna give them a lurky lurk. Give me a sec.
Alimu and Grape are also both on.
Fine, I'll lurk in Slimu's chat. It's not making me very happy. It's actually starting to make me angry.
밤이 서둘러 다가온다 해도
The night approacheth with great haste.
이 어둠을 헤치고 나아가
Yet thou shalt hew open a path, cleaving the shadows in twain.
세상에 둘도 없는 가족의
Where's Will when you need him to tell me whose thingy this is?
모든 위험한 것들을
Challenge and vanquish all things perilous,
행복에
and at last reach true happiness.
의심할 여지 없이
Thus thou indubitably,
오늘 나에게 일어날
the magnificence with which mine ingenious adventures of today shall shine,
그리고 우리에게
which
일어날
is our adventure as well.
다들 기억하지?
You remember the words, right? A fixer must maintain a head clear of corruption, speech free of deceit, and conduct
행동은
guided by clemency.
모험은 용맹스럽게
Show courage and adventure and bear pain and suffering,
어려운 자들에게는
and pray, forget not the mercy of the downtrodden.
마지막에는
And last but not least,
목숨을 걸고 살았다.
pursue your dreams, even if it means waging your life in the chase.
이 중 하나라도 지키지 못한다면
Should you ever fail to stand by one of these tenets,
내가 찾아와서
I'll smack you guys right upside the head myself.
언제나 긴장하며
Still yourselves always, and always keep moving forward.
그거 참 치사한 협박이
A threat most unfair.
나를 치사하네.
Manager Esquire, how unfair of thee.
치사하다 말해.
Most unfair, I say! What is it this time?
이 몸에
For
차례가
once I
오질
believed that it was my time to shine.
그래서 이번에야말로
Much did I wish to be
멋지게 해내고
the one to pull off the final flourish in its deserved splendor.
신문에 제대로
This is my chance to make my mark in the newspaper. Trinity P Corp's warp train station seemed to always remind Doggoot of our last misadventure. She repeated that exact same complaint a few times by now. Where dost thou make an expression of great dourness, Manager Esquire? I don't even have a face, let alone an expression. How untrue, how untrue! Dost thou now see it?
조그마한 동물이
All things blessed with existence has heart. Even the little creatures, indeed, even the blades of grass, which most people bother not to linger even a fleeting thought upon. Forsooth, an existence of heart necessitates an expression, wouldn't thou say?
그렇기에 우리는
Thou not say?
어떤 것이든 약하다여 무시하지 말고 올곧은 마음으로
That is to say, we must let the strength of the body be the scale which we judge one's measure. Thus persevere! Yet, only thy unbiding heart will be the tool which thou dispensest justice. Hark, hark! Oh, right, out with it. Who encouraged the last this time?
듣고 있는가?
Hearken to me, Manager Esquire! Some time ago in the freight car of the warp train. Don Quixote, hey, can you hear me say something? Don Quixote regards me silently. No, that's some eldritch being who can't help but wish is Don Quixote gazing at me. She opens her mouth. My instinct is to scream but not listen to her, but... Don Quixote? Has the... ended? No, I don't think it's ended. Is that so?
나에게 로신한테를
Roshinate, to me, I beseech you. I don't know if I gave her the right answer. So my answer was almost instinctually a relay of a thought that manifested in my head. Don Quixote closed her eyes upon preparing my reply, as through drifting away into a gentle, pleasant dream. Well, that's good, Color. Be careful of what you eat until you get your fixing done. As they're drifting away, is it a bottom tooth or a top tooth? If it's a top tooth, you should be fine. If it's a bottom tooth, you're gonna have some troubles for a bit. and carefully slip the ragged pair of running shoes she called Roshinate onto her feet. And I make a silent wish. Let her blood-red eyes never, ever open again. Arrive? Have we arrived? Oh, they went down this? Where half the villainous blood fiend gone? Don Quixote, didst thou strike down the curve? And back to the present. I kind of feel like we missed out on something cool. I wish I was there with Faust and Dante when we all went down to see how you guys managed to kill that guy, you know?
엄밀히 말하자면 그 자리에 저자도 있었다. 혈귀를 눈앞에 두고 볼썽사납게 기절해버렸다니. Limbus Company의 수치.
She was there as well, for she embarrassingly passed out like a coward in front of that blood fiend. The shame of Limbus Company, I say. S-O-L-C. Pathetic. Come on, we all passed out too, didn't we?
역시 저라도 남아 있었어야
I suppose I should have been there to take the reins of the sinners.
그렇게 혈귀가 무서웠던
Were you that scared of the blood fiend, Don Quixote? That's okay, I understand how you feel. Paul, a true hero standeth still and calm, unmoving in the face of such base mockery.
확실히 결정적인 순간을 놓친 건
I agree, Rania. I do feel like we missed out on something big.
저희가 본 건 열차 안에 터져 있는 그 혈귀의 파편들과
I'm guessing it's a bottom tooth color.
감이 안 온다는 분위기가
Because we
풍기는
got there in the aftermath, all we saw was a very confused looking Don Quixote standing over the blood fiend exploded metal parts. Huh? I was standing? Confused? Was I? Forsooth! Why didst thou not wake me? I would have forgive thee for slapping my cheeks upside down. So, what actually happened in there? I already told you guys earlier, didn't I? What? You just trailed off with that's, you know, until we change the subject. What are you talking about?
혹시 머리에 불길이 치솟으면서 횡설수설하셨던 그때처럼 정신착란 증세를 보인 것은 아니십니까?
Executive Manager, perhaps you were in a similar state of explosive delirium to the one you experienced earlier? I'm referring to the time when your head burst into flames. Oh, no, it's just, Otis began glaring at me as warily as through my clock head was about to explode at any moment. That didn't happen. That didn't happen, huh?
그럼 상대를 바꿔서 다른 목격자셨던 파우스
Hot soup!
하신 말씀 있으신가요?
Hot soup is what you got to eat, and you need to... If you have one, get like a water floss to clean it out. Or you could do a handstand. Yeah. Well, if you won't talk, then I turn to Miss Faust, our second eyewitness. Can I get some statements from you, madame? Rania asks confidently, still in the mood to play detective.
구테어 파우스트 쪽에서 전달드릴 내용.
Faust does not have any information she deems necessary to share at the moment.
그럼 다시 탄테 씨.
Gotcha. Then right back to you, witness Dante.
너희가 주의 깊게 들어야
Listen up. I have an important announcement to make, so pay attention. Pay close attention. If you have one of those air suction thingies, kind of like the dentists have, that'd be helpful too, because you can just suck out the liquid of anything that gets in the tooth. A thing you can also do is get like cotton swabs and stuff them in there for the day. You have a toothbrush and toothpaste. Have you been using them? I know you have. I'm just messing. I have no idea if it was coincidence or not, but Virgil stepped in just at the right moment to divert the sinner's attention away from me.
알다시피 우리는 피사에서 의뢰를 받았다.
You have to change them every, like, I think it's suggested every 4 months, but typically you can go up to 6 months. As long as you're not rough with them, which you're not supposed to be rough with them. If you brush your teeth too rough, you hurt your teeth, not clean them. You're supposed to lightly brush across all the sides and stuff. I've actually learned that recently. I've been brushing them a lot lighter than I used to, and it does show a difference. My teeth are like a lot whiter than they used to be. And I haven't really used any whitening. As you are all well aware, we have contracted by P Corp to work on a case here. I suppose we've done this song and dance enough times for you to know what's coming. Right. I suppose we'll have a scuffle, song, dance, whatever the higher-ups boss want with distortions or abnormalities or what have you. Did I get that right? Aha! It's a quest that leads us to lay claim upon another gold bow in our hands, is it not? Don Quixote replies, brimming with excitement. Yes. Well, if the two of you were able to catch on that quick, then I don't suppose any further elaboration is necessary. However, the operation will be somewhat... No, let me correct myself. This operation will be drastically different from anything you have done so far. It may be one of our most bothersome missions. Well, when hasn't it been like that? I guess it would be pretty bothersome to have to tag along with a group that's 2-3 times larger than our own, though, but... The Center's intuition appears to be growing sharper by the day. Oh, are we actually... You know what? I think I'm just going to keep these guesses to myself from now on. It's not something that can be negotiated. Well, it isn't better to join a group 3 times bigger than times our size rather than to oppose it? Will this be a joint operation then? Who will we be working with? Can't say I have the fondest memories of joint operations. Memories of pain, if you will. Our mission at K-Corp was our first and last experience with joint operations. I still vividly remember watching Mersault's arm flying off, smacking against the pillar, and squelching onto the floor. A more accurate recounting of the event would have included the fact that my scapula was also forcibly separated from my torso. Can't we just keep this between us? The other guys will get in our way and screw everything up. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I strongly agree with that one. How presumptuous of you all. You'll do well to remember that you're not the only team coming into this operation harboring such arrogant thoughts. This contract is, after all, an open contract posted by the Hana Association. The association overlooking the operations of fixers. Virgil stopped himself, noticing an ominous aura from one of the centers. There stood Don Quixote, practically vibrating with excitement. Someone gagged Don Quixote at your earliest convenience. Allow me. Anyway, this means that our colleagues joining this operation won't be a ragtag bunch of fixers from an alleyway's office no one's heard of. It's very likely that the fixers' somewhat established associations will be joining us. You! Stop wiggling your lips! I'm so glad that Otis was here to stop the Uncozy from exploding into joy. Because if she hadn't, we'd be drawing the attention of every single person in a sizable radius around us. Right, so what kind of monster are we dealing with this time? More than that, how do they want it done? You're talking like some shady backstreet fixer. Burgerless looked up just as Heathcliff asked his question. I'll do Nikkei more if you show up more, Valley. Love you too. Further details. Yeah. Will be shared by our client, who graces us with her timely arrival. So this is Don Quixote's. It's gotta be, because it's talking in, like, Don Quixote dialect. Will you talk to me right now, you little lurker? I knew you were here. Oh, you can buy the old thingies. Is that new to the regular? Weird. When will we be able to purchase these again? Alright, I'm gonna go get something to eat, guys. I'll be right back.